So I got this woman. She's come from the African continent, but she is immigrated here to America, and she wants to warn a lot of you brothers who saw Tyla and you say, "Wow, I didn't know women look like that in South Africa. I want to go over there and find a wife in South Africa." Well, this woman's going to try to warn you, but listen to what she has to say, and we'll bring something right behind it.
So, I saw a video today on TikTok of this young man, African American, saying how he wants to go to Africa to find a wife. And he said all this after watching Tyla, our beautiful sister from South Africa. And he's like, you know what? That's it. We just need to go to Africa to find wives. Audacity. Anyway, me being African, I was raised in Africa and I was also raised in the United States. So I have experience from both continents, okay? And let me tell you something. If you are an American man who thinks that going outside of the United States is where you will find a good woman, a good wife, because American women ask for too much. The ladies out here, man, they're just materialistic. Let me tell you something. It is worse. It is 1,000 times worse than what you think back home in Africa. At least for the country that I was raised in and the culture that I was raised in. Because here's the thing. African women, African young girls, we are raised to literally know that the man is the provider. In fact, a lot of African women don't even go to work. Their men are the ones who go to work and just bring the money home for the wife to budget. And if you think the women here in America are asking for too much, in fact, go to Africa. No, go get married. Because the way African young girls are raised, we are raised with so much knowledge about family, friendship, how to deal with lives. So when families in Africa see that their daughters have gone through so much learning and they have become knowledgeable of life and marriage and all those things, they know the value of their daughters. And they say, you know what? Any man cannot come and marry our daughter for free. He has to pay a dowry. And that's why majority of African cultures, before a man goes to take the daughter to marry a woman, he has to pay the family a dowry, an appreciation. And dowry can go from money to cows and goats to even building the girl's family a house. Yes, and it's all to show appreciation to the family of the girl, that thank you so much for raising such a beautiful and wonderful woman who's gonna be the mother of my kids. So the system works differently. The United States, after living here for almost 10 years, I've realized that here men just take for free. And I know this might be triggering and or insulting some people, but it's the truth. Men in the United States are used to taking things for free, especially from women. They expect, well, I'm just gonna go date her, have sex with her here and there and use her, and then we'll just be in a relationship. It does not work like that in Africa. It is worse. You cannot take someone's daughter for free like that. You have to impress her and the family, most importantly. And in some cultures, like my own, if you have not proven yourself as a man that you have the resources to take care of someone's daughter, guess what? Even the family has the right to take you to court, to police, and say, we brought this man, he wants to take our daughter for free. Or if you've already taken the daughter without paying the family a dowry, they can say, he stole our daughter from us. Without any appreciation. And guess who is gonna win the case? The family of the girl. So to any American man or any man worldwide who wants to marry a woman in Africa, use your common sense. You have to be very, very strong in your masculinity to know that I do not expect my wife to work if she doesn't want to. She can or she cannot. My position as the man in her life will not change whether she works or not. My position is to provide for her. So my brother, you want to go to Africa to find a wife because they're much more nicer, let me tell you, they come with the most costly, how do I say this? And this is not like a selling your daughter type of thing. No, the families are not exchanging their children for money and possessions. No, it's simply the man giving to the girl's family in appreciation of receiving a wife. He who finds a wife finds a what? a good thing.
Now, she did not say exactly what country she was from in particular, but I will say she is definitely half right in a lot of what she said. Yes, in some African cultures, yes, you have to pay a dowry. That's 100% right what she just said. Yes, some of it could be money. Some of it could be cows. Some of it could be goats. Some of it could be, like she said, the house. In some instances, yes, but not every African culture practice dowry. 100%. Now, she mentioned Tyla in particular. Tyla is considered colored. I know the term colored in America is a different thing than what it is in South Africa. Please, if you have an issue with the term colored, please just do some research on their history. So in America, we have black, white, etc. Where in South Africa, they have black, colored, and they have white, correct? So in America, Alicia Keys or Drake would be considered colored, right? I would be considered black. Just that simple. We just don't have that classification here. So the good thing about me is that we have people that work within our company who is from South Africa, since she was mentioning South Africa in particular. And I have a journalist named Inga that's on our news platform, and she's from the color community. So I asked her in particular, because since she mentioned Tyla, I asked her about, do people, if Black American men, that's the question I asked, wanted to marry a woman out of the colored community, will they have to pay a dowry? And this was her response.
Phillip, so no, not in the colored community, but I do know that in the African community, in the Xhosa community, they have a tradition of lobola. So lobola is also like where the groom's family will give gifts. So whether it's usually cattle or, they will give something. I'm not sure what the modern South Africa or families do. I think they do cash, but the traditional way was to, for the groom's family, gives cattle to the bride's family, basically for their daughter. But in the colored community, there isn't that expectancy of any kind of dowry. There isn't that with a colored.
So, as you clearly heard Inga, she said that if you brothers want to go to South Africa, Cape Town in particular, and you want to marry a woman from the colored community, you can do that without a dowry. I also asked, I have another person that worked with me in South Africa that's one of our employees, named Renell Way, about, because there's some people, let's say the colored community don't do dowry, but a lot of the other groups do dowry, right? Now, Renell Way explained to me that the dowry would run about 25,000 to 50,000 Rand. We're not talking about US dollars, we're talking about Rand, we're talking about average. On the high end, when you convert it to USD, comes up to $2,600, and you pay the dowry. Now, realistically, a flight from the U.S. to Johannesburg, South Africa, we talking about on the low end, right? The low end, we talking about economy seats. Run you probably about $1,700, $1,800 on the low end, just to go over there and come back. We talking about round trip. If this woman is a traditional woman, she's traditional. She's been raised to be traditional, which a lot of them in the African continent have been raised to be traditional, to cook, clean, submit to their husband, etc. And in return, yes, you are expected to provide 100%. It's not on that woman to provide. That if you want a traditional woman, that's what you're going to get. A man would be willing to pay $2,600. We're talking about at the top, because she mentioned it could be $25,000, but I'm going to the top number. So if you got a South African woman who's really deep into the culture, she's traditional, you love this woman, you want to be with her, $2,600 is not really much of nothing to a man who take care of business. What's $2,600? See, I'm just saying, a lot of brothers out here taking care of their business, and that's the brothers I'm talking about. I'm not talking about brothers that's not taking care of their business. You got brothers out here every day working hard and everything, and some brothers have married women in the African continent, and some brothers have paid a dowry too. They have. and some haven't. It just depends. I've also was told not all young women want to do the dowry thing. They're like, nah, I don't want to do all that traditional stuff. I just want to get married. So it depends on the woman that you're with, right? But understand that if you go over there, they were raised to be traditional, so that's going to be expected of you. Now, in Latin America, they don't do the dowry thing. But let's say if he wanted to get a woman from Latin America, a black woman, right? He can go do that too. But in relation to colored women, then no, sis, you didn't really try to, I guess, steer the brothers away. Now they got the right information directly from Inga, who is part of that community. She could say that, nah, brothers, y'all can come. Y'all basically can go ahead on down to Cape Town where most of them at. I'm not saying they're not in Johannesburg and other places, but Cape Town is about the main place they at. You brothers can get you some flights to Cape Town and maybe you'll meet your wife. Look, let me tell you something. The scriptures teach he who finds, she was trying to quote it, but I'm going to quote it. It say he who finds, right? So that means you as a man got to go find your wife. If your wife's in America, you find her. If your wife is in South Africa, you find her. But it say he who finds, that you got to go on the mission to find. It say a wife finds, because you had to go find this woman, a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord, right? You don't obtain favor from being a single man. You obtain favor for being a married man. So if you feel in your heart is for you to go find your wife in Cape Town, South Africa, hey, go find her, brother. But I don't want none of you to be discouraged and go and find you a wife. Listen, I prefer you single men to have you a wife. I prefer that. All that being a perpetual bachelor stuff, that's just not for what men should do. Look, God himself said it's not good for man to be alone. So you think you know more than God? Of course not. No, you don't. So go find your wife. If she's in Cape Town with doggone it, get to Hartsfield Jackson Airport, get on that Delta flight. They got direct Delta flight, I know, to Johannesburg, and I think they got one to go straight to Cape Town. So you want to go find you one, you definitely can go. I gave you the information. Now you can go find her.